Hello, hello. How's everybody doing? Okay. Hopefully we're not going to have any tech issues. I know we've had some software updates, and whenever the updates are on, sometimes we have some things that don't always go smoothly. So, if you are out there, once you guys start coming in, please let me know if you can hear me. Mics always seem to get affected every single time there's an update. It's the microphones that always end up giving me issues. So hopefully, we're going to be good. But welcome to Jenetics Creations, guys. If you are tuning in, this is a live class. It is a live crochet class. My name is Jen. I've been crocheting on again, off again my entire life, and I'm just going to adjust the camera a little bit. But I've been crocheting on again, off again my entire life, and usually I'm doing shawls or wearables and things like that, but lately we've been playing a lot with amigurumi, and last week we made this turtle with a bootay. So this week we're going to finish our turtle by getting set up with its accessories. So we're going to do the shell backpack. It is a little backpack that he wears. We're going to be doing a top hat. Don't worry, I won't do it in black for the purposes of this class, because if you guys are going to try to see it, it will be very difficult, but I will also do the bow as well. So we are going to jump in, but first, let's just see as people get in here. I really hope that the mic is working. Everything on my end says that it is, but I want to make sure. So as you guys get in here, please let me know. Drop something in the chat. Let me know you guys are here, that you can hear me loud and clear. Let's keep going. So if you are new, you guys are also going to want to go into the description. I have a great tool that is free for everybody. And if you're new to crochet, I'll show you why it can be a real big benefit. Give me a second. Might help if I hit the right keys here. Okay, so in this, you're going to see a lot of things. It's a quick print off, so it's a PDF. You can download it. You can keep it on your phone. If you want to print it off, it's good to have. It has a link here. This takes you to my link tree. This has all things Jenetics. So it'll have all my social media platforms. It's going to have everything that, like my recommendations. I have hooks in there. I've got yarn needles. I've got a lot of things in there that you guys could benefit from. But it's also got all of this language. If you guys are new to crochet, you probably have stumbled across a bunch of patterns, some acronyms, some other things, and you're probably like, oh my gosh, crochet sounds like a different language. What did I think? Why am I picking this up as a hobby? I'm overwhelmed. It doesn't have to be overwhelming. Keep this at your hip, have it there, just lay it down next to your pattern, and as you're working, it'll help tell you what to do. A DC. It is a double crochet. It doesn't have to be super difficult. Do you need to know all of this in order to learn crochet? Not really, because if you guys are in my classes, you know I'm going to demonstrate everything anyway, so you're going to pick it up as we keep going. But that being said, you also have crochet diagrams. I do some basics on crochet diagrams. It's another way to read patterns. If you're not liking how wordy patterns can be, if you're not liking how wordy patterns can be, diagrams might be your thing. There are people that love diagrams. There are people that love patterns. It's all up to you which one works better, but diagrams are nice, and there's a lot of free ones out there. They can be intimidating at first, but it's literally just a stitch map. It's telling you where all the stitches go. So this will help you because it breaks down some of those basic ones, and I do have several tutorials on here where we use diagrams, so you guys can actually learn how to break that down and start playing around with that as well. So I know I've got a few people in here. Please let me know if you guys can hear me in the chat. Please, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Because I'm getting a little nervous that I haven't seen any of you guys comment, and I want to make sure with the updates that went on today that it didn't affect my mic settings on this app as well. Anyone? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I'll type it in the chat. Just in case. I've also pinned the Discord link to the top. Let's get rid of this window. Excuse me. Alright, so I've also pinned the link to the top. That Discord link is free. You guys can definitely... I can hear you! Yay! Minda, welcome in. Welcome to this side. Welcome to the other side of Jenetics Creations. We are going to jump in real shortly. Let's see. So you've got the free tool. That's in the description. Make sure you grab that. Grab any scrap yarn. You guys should already have done your turtle. If you missed last week's class, you can always look at the turtle and learn this 2nd. So feel free to crochet the accessories with me today, and then after today's class, go ahead and jump over to last week's class so you can make the turtle. Today we're going to do the shell backpack, the bow, and the top hat. So you guys will have some accessories for your turtles. There's a lot of other things you guys can create. You guys can definitely look up a ton of things online and just kind of go rogue, as we like to say, and you'll be able to add all of those elements in after. But that is what we're going to dive into. If you have brown, go ahead and grab some brown yarn. You're not going to need a lot. I have this much, but this is more than I need, to be honest with you. I'm going to start with this one. I probably will maybe use up all of that, but just to give you an idea of how much I have a little bit on deck, so I'm playing a little bit yarn chicken, but I can always join. You're not going to need I'm going to do gray for the top hat just so you guys can see it. So I've got some gray. I don't need this much. Oh, nope, I can't use this gray because it's attached to a sheep. Welcome to my issues. Hold on. We're going to grab another gray, or maybe we'll do a white hat. Maybe we'll do, no, because white's going to be hard for you guys to see. Here's a gray. Here's a gray. Here's a gray. All right, we got more than enough gray. That's way more than enough that we need, but we have gray. And then any color you may want for the bow. I'm going to do red. I have a ridiculous amount of red as well, but at least now you guys can grab your yarn. So just grab some yarn, grab some scrap yarn. They don't have to be the traditional colors. As you can tell, we've already gone from traditional green to pinks. We've done rainbow, so the turtle really looks good no matter what colors you do. So feel free to get creative. And we're going to get going. I am using, hold on, my eyeballs don't want to work. We're going to blame premenopause. You guys all have been talking about it today. This is a size 6 or a G. And this hook is a little bit older, so it doesn't have all the measurements. I'll get you the official one. Hold on. Hold the phone. Where did my hooks go? Alright, so this is a G, a 6, or a 4 millimeter. Or a 4 millimeter. Grab your hook, grab some yarn. I've got the pattern, and we're gonna get going. Hey, Haley! Haley! I am so glad you're here. So glad you're here. Hopefully you'll be stitching, but if not, enjoy the show. We've got Turtle, we've got the bootay, and now we're gonna make him some accessory. Accessory. Yes, I know. I'm a little nerdy. It's cool. It's cool. We like being nerdy. And guys, just to let you know what else is coming up, next week I think we're probably going to be doing the sheep. This is our project of the week. Again, I mentioned the Discord. The link is pinned. It's in the chat. If you're not in it, get in it. It's free. It's fun. All of us stitchers, we just nerd out in there. We make different projects. We have a project of the week. The turtle was the project of last week. The sheep is the project of this week. I think we have a pig scheduled. We have a koala scheduled, just to let you know of some other things that all of you stitchers have been picking for us to teach on this platform. So again, I make this channel for you guys. So many people told me, I wish I could do crochet. And I'm like, why not? Why can't you? I just don't know how. Okay, well, I'll teach you. And this is how this channel was born. So anytime you guys have input, feedback, things you want to see, please get at me. The Discord's the best way to message me. I'm usually way better at answering messages on there than any other platform, but drop it in the comments. I do check. I answer them all myself, so please be patient with me. I am a one-man show right now, as of yet. So we've got a lot of things coming. We also have some merchandise that's been coming out, so definitely get in the Discord, get in my link tree. That link is also in the description, and all the things. We have so many things going on right now, so I'm glad you're here. But without further ado, let's get stitching because we've got a lot to do. We're going to start with the brown yarn. We need to get that shell backpack going. Let me zoom in because obviously my eyeballs are not working and my contacts are not happy with me today. So bear with me. But we've got our hook. How many people are stitching with me? I do know that sometimes when you guys stitch with me, I do tend to go kind of fast. Feel free to yell at me, slow me down, ask me to demonstrate something over again. I have the chat right in front of me, so you guys can always speak up, say anything. Oh, and then Miss Tabo with the stretches. So, I don't normally do stretches in this class, but we're going to do a few quick ones. Take care of your wrists. A good one is honestly just pulling your fingers up. And if you can stand up and put pressure on your hands while doing it, it's hard to demonstrate in here, but that is a really good way to loosen up your fingers. Make sure you do a couple wrist circles. If you stitch like me for hours a day and you do not take care of your wrists, this could be a problem. Go the other direction. Because it's repetitive motion, guys. Anytime it's any repetitive motion, whether it's sitting, whether it's doing your favorite sport, shoot, I do a lot of forward folding in my fitness routine, and we end up having to do, I have to do a lot of reverses just to counter that repetitive motion. Take care of yourself. This is another good one. And then don't forget to individually stretch your fingers. We're going to be stitching probably for about an hour, hour and a half, and some people are not usually able to do that, and that's okay. Keep in mind, if you have to come back, this class will be available after I'm done live. It immediately drops, so you guys can always replay it. Save the link. The link does not change, and you guys can always go at your own pace, rewind it a million times, make a million turtles, the whole nine. All of my classes are available for replay, so definitely take advantage of that, guys. And then, aside from that, tap that screen, subscribe if you haven't. We're going to start stitching. So for the shell, we are going to be doing a slip knot at first, and then we're going to start going into some chains. Nothing too crazy. A lot of this is very simple. For a slip knot, if you guys haven't done one before, you're just kind of twisting, so you're creating that loop. Hold on, there we go. And then you're pulling it through. So create the loop, go back, don't pull it all the way through. You don't want to pull this all the way out. You need that to stay out. And you're pulling it tight. Follow along. Yes, Tabitha, feel free to follow along. And if you need me to slow down, let me know. I made that tail really long. We don't need the tail that long, but you guys get it. We're going to start by chaining 7. So to chain, you've got the loop. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit more because you guys, the settings on this one are a little bit different, and I want to make sure you guys can see. Give me a second here. There we go. All right, and I know many of you guys are on your phone because I see my analytics, and I know most of you guys follow on the phone, so I know the screens are small. I'll try to help. I'll try to help. To chain, you're just pulling through. Yarn over, pull through. You're doing that 7 times. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Haley, I'll definitely talk to you about some ideas. I see your comment in there. We can definitely help. I know Melissa had a lot of really good ideas. All right. So the pattern reads, and this is where, if you guys are reading along with the pattern, the link is in the description. So feel free to grab it. It's a free pattern on Ribbler. It's not mine. It's definitely not, but I'm going to show you how you read it. So it reads chain 7, and then it says from the second chain from the hook. It's written a little weird. Keep in mind, some people, we're all humans writing these patterns, but you're going to do 5 single crochets. So you start with the second chain, and I know this is brown, a little bit difficult to see. Hopefully I have enough light on it, but let me grab a pointer. Okay. Nope, that's a pen. This is a pointer. Okay. Here's our next to the hook chain. So we're going to go into our second chain from the hook. 1, 2. Second chain, we're going to do a single crochet. You're doing 5. So you're going to grab that first one. You're going to yarn over, and you're going to pull through 1 loop. And then you're going to go and do the same thing to pull through 2. That is a single crochet. I do have a full tutorial on single crochets. If there's anything that you need to revisit a little bit more detailed on this, feel free to let me know. And yes, Haley, seizures are scary. I told you, I've had 2 my whole life, but I was medicated for 10 years. So yeah, they are. They are, but you're gonna be okay. Shayna, how are you? How are you? Hey, Stitches. Okay, so our next one, you're still just, we're into our second single crochet. So pull up 1, pull up 2. Our third one, our fourth one, and our 5th one. Now, if you'll notice, we have 1 chain left. That is done by design. That is not a boo-boo. We're going to be doing something in there. And when I read this pattern, it says 3 SC, that's single crochets, in last CH, or chain. So we're doing 3 single crochets in our remaining chains. So 1, 2, and 3. If I have anyone that needs me to slow down, please let me know. I don't know how many people are stitching with me, but let me know. Let me know if you are stitching with me. Let me know, because I do want to make sure I'm checking in with you along the way. Otherwise, I know a lot of you guys are just here to hang out and support, and I love it. I love you guys all so much. Okay, this is no different than an oval pattern, and I know a lot of people dislike the oval patterns for this reason, is because when you go to the back side of this chain, it can be very difficult to see where you're working. So I'm going to point a few things out. You're already right here. This is where all your stitches are going into. So you don't want to grab anything on this side because you're working in the wrong direction. We want to go back this direction. So the first place you're going to want to grab is this unworked loop here, this one, and this is where you're chaining. This is how you're grabbing the back side of our chain. So we're working on those unworked loops. So it says on the other side, which is on the back side of our chain, you're doing 4 single crochets followed by an increase. Awesome, Tabitha. You let me know if I need to slow down or anything for you, my love, because I want to make sure you get this. So we are going to single crochet 4 times across. I'm also crocheting over this thread. If you guys are confused by that, just leave it towards the back. You can always work it in later. I'm going to just carry it through and pretend it's not there. And we're doing our single crochet right over it. That's 1. We need to do 4. So we're grabbing the next chain. We're going to grab that next one. That's 3. And we're going right into here for our 4th one. And I did say we were doing an increase. You're grabbing the last one. Technically, this is mimicking your 3 in 1 stitch down here. So what I do is I am just finding where that first single crochet is. And I'm going to go into that same loop with my increase. An increase is no different than doing 2 stitches in the same stitch. That's all an increase is. You're taking 1 stitch and you're turning it into 2. The only way to do that is to stitch twice into the same stitch. So 1 and 2. And now we are done with row 1. I'm going to keep carrying this through, but we are working in a spiral. So our row 2 is going to start in that first single crochet. So you're going to want to grab that right there. Row 2. You should have 14 stitches. If you are a counter, you will have 14 stitches going all the way around. I will show you guys how to count on, actually I'll show you guys how to count now. So let's make this easier to see. If you've never counted stitches and you're like, what do you mean, Jen? I'll show you. These little braids, or this little like V that you have right here, that's the top of each stitch. 1 right here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That means we have 14 stitches. We've done it correctly. I see that. I see Tabitha stitching. Thank you, Haley. I got it. I got it. So now we're going to start row 2. So you're going to go into that first stitch, and the first thing we're doing is a single crochet followed by an increase. Now it's written in parentheses. It says 1 single crochet, comma, increase, and in parentheses, and then it says times 7. That means you're going to go single increase, single increase, single increase. You're going to do that 7 times. That's what that means. We're going to place the stitch marker in just a moment. But yes, Tabitha, I'm so glad you have good stitching habits, because we need the stitch markers for amigurumi. So do your first single and place your stitch marker. I don't know which one I want right now. Where's my puppy dog one? And yes, these things matter. I think the puppy dog one is in a project. I've got another puppy dog one because I get all my stitch markers from Karen. TSH Designs. The link is in my link tree. Sometimes she pops in here, but I know she hasn't been feeling well today. So if you guys want to get stitch markers or any other crochet accessories or crocessories, her link is in the recommendation section on my link tree. I always link her Etsy account. She's got a great set of stuff. You can get anything you want. I got doggies because I love my dog, but there's a million things she can do, and they're amazing. So definitely, definitely. I know you like to try to help, Haley. I love it. I love it. Jen lost her stitch marker. No, I didn't lose it. It's attached to a project. So, in all fairness, I just crocheted too much. It's a good thing I have many to choose from. Might be a good idea for everyone to have plenty to choose from themselves. Okay, so we did our first single, and then we're going to do, in the next stitch, is an increase. Now be careful, Tabitha, if you're seeing this, which I know it's brown, it's not the easiest, but that first stitch kind of looks like it's going that way, and it can be real easy to accidentally go into the same stitch, so pay attention to where that little V is going into. That's the bottom of your single crochet. That is where you already stitched into, so make sure you go all the way over here for your increase. So we're going to go, because that's where the next stitch is. It's just because you're working in that oval for the first time, and it can be a little wonky. You're doing 2 stitches in that second stitch, so 2 single crochets. We did 1 in this first one, 2 in the second. Now we're going back to 1. 1, and then in the next stitch you're doing your increase. So 2 in the same stitch. 1 and 2. You're going to keep doing that all the way around. So by the time you get to your stitch marker, your last stitch should be an increase. And if you are counting, you will end up with 21 stitches. I end up not counting. I always just make sure that I'm ending on whatever I'm supposed to be ending on. I'm not gonna lie, I take a lot of shortcuts. We're not talking about it. Hey Mary, yes, hi Mrs. Detman. How are you? How are you? Single, increase, single, increase, and then single, and we're ending on an increase, which means we did it correctly. I'm not gonna lie, this brown is hard for me to see. It's easier to see on the camera because of the light, but we'll be in brighter colors for the rest of it, so bear with me. And then, yeah, let me know. Let me know. And Tabitha, are you ready for row 3? You have your 21 stitches. Row 3 is a little dicey, so we're going to go slow because it's not consistent. It's going to have you do one thing for a few stitches, another thing for a few stitches, another thing for a few stitches, and another thing for a few stitches. So I am going to go slow. But I want to make sure, Tabitha, that you are ready, because I don't want to have to try to repeat it. It'll get really confusing. Okay, perfect. The first thing you're going to do, it reads, row 3 reads 2 increases, followed by 7 single crochets, followed by 3 increases, followed by 8 single crochets, followed by an increase. That was a lot. I just wanted to cover it, just to have it out there. No worries. Enjoy your dinner, Haley. But what we're going to start with, there's 2 increases. So that first 2 stitches, you're doing 2 single crochets in each of them. So first 2 stitches, get 2 singles each. So make sure that you're doing 2 increases. That takes you the top half of the oval. We're going to do now 7 single crochets going across. So that's 1 single crochet in each of the next 7 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And if you didn't count, then you could always just go back 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Especially if you're like me and you're talking while you're always crocheting, those little tricks help. Now you're doing the 3 increases. So for the next 3 stitches, they each get 2 stitches each. So 1 increase and 2 increase, and now our 3rd increase. And Tabitha, I'm going to pause there. Make sure you're good there. That should have taken you around the other corner of your oval. And if you guys aren't drinking your water, grab your water. Cheers, Stitchers. or cheers stitches per Shayna. Love it, love it. Tabitha, you good? Did you get the 3 increases in the right spot? Da, 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 da. Oh, you're ahead of me. Woo! All right, 8 singles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You should have 1 more stitch left, and that's where we're going to do our final increase. So 2 stitches in 1. You're at the stitch marker, which means you did it perfectly. If you want to count, you should have 27 stitches. 27. Now, rows 4 through 6. So 4, 5, 6, it's going to be easy. You're just doing 27 single crochets all the way around. Keep using your stitch marker because you don't want to lose track of where that row starts and finishes. Now you may end up having to do more stitches, but let's just do 2 rows of single crochet all the way around, and then we'll measure how the shell fits on the bouquet. Once we know how it fits, you'll know whether or not we're doing more rows or not, and I'll show you where you want to make sure you're lining up. But this one's going to be easy. You're just doing single crochet all the way around. All the way around. Haley, I feel like I see the laughing comments in the chat, and I'm like, do you have an inside joke that I don't know about, Miss Haley? Or are you just laughing because Tabitha was beating me? She's going faster than I am, which is A-okay. As long as we're not leaving any stitcher behind, because you guys know that is my motto. We will make sure everybody figures this out. We don't want anyone not being able to get their fancy project done. And if my dog barks, I apologize. My son is outside doing basketball, and every now and then she thinks he's knocking on the door or something. She'll beat me to the next row. Big deal, Haley. It's not about that. Now with amigurumi, you are always working from the outside, looking in. This is something I had to learn the hard way on my first project. I started making it inside out, didn't know it. So as you are shaping these rows, make sure you flip it so that you're looking at the outside. The inside is always the back side. So keep shaping it, flip it out if you need to, because sometimes just naturally those stitches settle differently. And I'm starting row 2. I'm starting row 2 of my single crochets, which is technically row 6, so I guess I should be consistent. But single crochet again in every single stitch around, and then I will pause. I will measure the bouquet after this row, which I'm pretty sure I'm going to need to do maybe 1 or 2 more. But I'll show you exactly what you're looking for so you can get it to line up correctly. I told you guys I was playing a little bit of yarn chicken, but it looks like we're doing okay so far, because I've only got a couple more rows left. So when I said you didn't need much, you really don't. That's what's also nice about the amigurumi right now. You guys can do this in puffy yarn. You guys can go and get the super bulky yarn. That's A-okay. That is something everyone can do, but it's not something you have to do. In fact, a lot of my projects that you guys see me making, this is all with scrap yarn, meaning a lot of this is done with yarn that I had leftovers from scarves, leftovers from blankets, or you guys all know I get discount yarn from yard sales. I go to the Dollar Tree, I go to estate sales and go to crafters who are getting rid of their scraps, and they often will sell things cheap to you if they don't need it, and it can all be used. This is a 4-weight yarn. This is not anything quote-unquote special, so you don't have to go and do what everyone else is doing just because it looks cute and everything. You're still going to get a fun effect. Now I'm just going to double check real quick. We have many more rows to do. So if you see, Tabitha, we want to try to get it to where the shell lands a little bit before the arm starts. That's what we're aiming for. So I may actually need to do 3 more rows, but you're good. Yep, Goodwill. Goodwill is a really good one. Thank you, Shayna, for reminding me. I've gotten a lot of stuff at Goodwill. I haven't even broken into what I did at Goodwill yet, but I got a ton of yarn for like 15 bucks, and it'll definitely make a ton of projects. And yeah, Tabitha, I need several more rows. So it suggests 3 rows of single crochets. On a couple of my turtles, I have had to do up to 5 rows. But you're just going to keep repeating this row until we get almost full coverage. Almost full coverage, unless you want the turtle to have a whale tail. I mean, we could. I don't know what that would look like. I don't know if it'll have the same effect, but you could. You could always intentionally do that. But I definitely am going to need more rows. So we're going to keep going around, keep going around. I'm going to measure again, even though I know it's probably not enough. But that's okay. That's okay. I just want to keep showing you guys what I'm doing. And we're going to fit it to the boot tay. And we're going to do another row, because I want it to have more coverage. We're not going for the whale tail on the turtle. Don't forget your stitch marker. Every time you do the first stitch of your next row, you want to mark it. It is your sanity. It allows you to get distracted. It allows you to talk. It allows you to... Oh, I might actually run out. It allows you to do all the things you need to do and not lose your mind. Amigurumi goes so much smoother if you use a stitch marker. If you don't have one, you can use a safety pin. You can use a paper clip. You can even use the smallest piece of yarn and just loop it through with your hook, as long as you can see what hook or what stitch you're marking. It does not need to be super fancy, but you will want to use a stitch marker. It helps immensely. Or you have to count religiously, which I know Haley does not like to count. I don't even like to count my stitches. So another reason why I use my stitch markers religiously. It's just a really good habit, guys. I know, I'm playing really bad yarn chicken. I actually may lose. It's okay. I have a backup. I have a backup if I lose. It's okay. This one I am not super worried about. If you guys don't know what yarn chicken is, it's literally the act of trying to finish your project before you run out of yarn. Usually when us crocheters are playing yarn chicken, we can't go and get more yarn. That's not the option. So technically I'm cheating. I have a backup. Technically. Hey Liz, how are you? Alright, we're going to double check the measurements again. You can kind of stretch it. I'm going to do, I might even have to do 2 more rows, but I'm going to do another one. I'm going to keep going. Are you getting close, Tabitha, or does yours have a big badunkadunk too? I think I gave my turtle too big of a badunkadunk. Don't throw me under the bus. Oh, I will. I will, Miss Haley. I will throw you under the bus if I have to. Until you learn to count all the time. Need another row after 2 added. Yeah, I think I'm kind of in the same boat. I might be shooting for 5 rows total of the single crochets, but that's not always the case. On this one, I think I only did the 3. So it does change, and that's where you guys just want to keep measuring it. If you guys are making this with me after the fact, just know you're going to keep measuring at the end of every row, and I'll show you where you want to kind of be once I get there. And every turtle will have a different size shell. It's just that way. Haley, I still love you too. I feel like I need to get you a Count Dracula, though. 1, 2 stitches, We're going to take it back to Sesame Street days, Haley. We might have to crochet a Count Dracula sometime. I'm just saying, this might need to happen. Alright, are we close? Are we close? Let's see where we're at. We're going to do one more. This is where I would like to be on this side. I'd like to be lined up kind of like that, because you will do one more row, and there will be one more row of single crochets sitting right here. But as you can see, I still have a lot of space, so I'm going for another row. We're still going. Good news is, we've already gotten past the hardest part, in all honesty, so. And don't forget your stitch marker still. Hey, Deborah! Just got home from work. Hopefully you didn't work too hard. What do you do for work? Oh, Yarn Chicken definitely going to lose this game. It's okay. I'm cheating. That's so cute. Thank you, Deborah. You two, you're getting close. Tabitha, one more. Deborah was with us last week. So, Deborah, I know you have your turtle. You're going to totally be able to jump in a moment. After this shell, we're going to make it the top hat and the bow. So, feel free to grab your yarn for that. And then, obviously, you can always replay this after. And then you can, you're a professor? Oh, what do you teach? That's awesome. But yeah, after the live is over, you can always come back and rewatch it and do the shell, because I know you were working on the turtle. You got the turtle perfectly last week. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. But yeah, what do you teach? A professor is pretty dope. I'm a professor of crochet. No, you could totally laugh at me and judge me for that comment. It's okay. It's okay. And when we connect the new yarn, I will show you guys how I join it in case anyone out there has not seen it, because it looks like I'm losing at Yarn Chicken. It's cool. Alright, let's do a booty measurement real quick, because Turtle got a big booty today. And we're getting... I actually think once it stretches, we're going to leave it at that. So Tabitha, I hope you can kind of see where I'm at. I'm just shy of each one. So if you're ready, let me know. I want to move on to the next row, but I don't want to do it until you're ready, Tabitha. Elementary school! Oh, how cool! You're teaching their teachers. That's really awesome. That's a unique skill. I definitely do not have the patience to deal with that level. You're ready. Okay, so we are moving on to what is technically row 7 on the pattern, but obviously we've added a few rows, so I don't know what number it is for us at this moment, but that's neither here nor there. This is the last final row of the shell, and then we will start doing either the hat or the bow. I'll probably do the hat first. Okay, so the next row, 2 single crochets. So the next 2 stitches get 1 single crochet each. Don't forget your stitch marker. 1 and 2. After that, chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Real quick, I'm going to connect my other yarn. So here's how I join yarn. We have strand 1, and we're going to do strand 2. We just overlay them a little. Oh wow, this does not look like the same yarn, but I know it is, because I had it in the same bag together. You're going to overlap them as so. So you've got, I guess I could, there you go. You're going to lay it like that. I'm going to overlap it a little bit more so I have more room to work with. Pick up one side, wrap it around your fingers, take the cut, you're going to go over and under. So, I mean, technically, you could use a hook, I guess, if you want to better see it. So you're going to go over and pull that under. Hold on to that, and as you pull everything out, pull that knot tight. You're going to do the same thing on the other side. So go to the other end, wrap it around, take the cut end, give myself, boom, over and under, and you're going to pull it tight. Once you're done there, pull the knots together. They will lock. You can cut this all the way to the knot. You do not need to leave it long by any means. So cut all the way to the knot, and then you can keep crocheting. Boom, we are good. That is my favorite way to join yarn, unless you're switching colors. If you're switching colors, it's a whole different ball game, but we're not doing that here. So you've chained 5, Tabitha. The very next stitch, so this is where we single crocheted. Go into the next one, and you're going to do a single crochet there. Per the row, it says to do another 11. So after this one, do 11 more single crochets across. Yes, I know, you'll technically have 12 total, and it should have just told you to crochet 12 total, but this is how the pattern's written, so I'm just relaying it the way it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Every time I count now, I'm thinking of you, Haley. 10, and here's our 11th. So you should be kind of on the top of the oval, but you're still like in the diagonal corner. It's a little bit weird. I have tried messing with the placement on this. I will say I do kind of wish some of these were a little bit turned, but it does work, so don't mess with it. Trust the process. But we're going to chain 5 again. 3, yarn imperfection, 4, and 5. Oh no, that's our knot. Huh! That's how well I can tell it was a knot. So cool. We're there. Let me get some slack. And then the last part, single crochet in the next stitch. So single crochet into the next stitch. We were in that one, so make sure you jump over to the next one. Boom. And then it says to do 12 single crochets followed by a slip stitch. So you should have 12 stitches left. That should take you to the end of the row. So we'll do it together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And technically we're done. So you're going to take the stitch marker off. That should be where you're slip stitching into. How do you fasten off? If you've never done it before, you give yourself a little bit of a tail, because you are going to want to weave it in. You don't need a long tail. You're not sewing anything together. I probably was a little bit much. And you're doing another slip stitch, but you're pulling it all the way through. And you'll pull that knot tight. Now, if you have a yarn needle, this is far easier. If you don't, you can do this with a hook. But you're just going to weave in that end. I love these yarn needles. They're super cheap. The whole pack was like either $6 or $7. I have the link. It's in the description below. It's also in my link tree. It's on the Zon or the Amazon. Sorry, I forget on this app. I can say more. You don't need to like spend a whole lot of money to do this. But you're just going to try to find all the stitches where it'll naturally go into, because you don't want to affect the texture of what you've crocheted. So start just bringing it through. You don't have to do anything super crazy. But I try to aim for where the yarn is already. I go under all of those overlaps that are created by our stitches. And you're just going to find all of the natural flow of it and keep going until you feel pretty confident that it's not going anywhere. Now, it's not at off. I mean, unless you have like a kid super playing with this and it's like super going to be washed and stuff a lot, you don't really need to go crazy. And you can just cut it as close as you can. Be very careful not to accidentally cut any of those stitches. And your turtle shell is done. So now, to put it on, we're just capping it over. And then this loop goes over this hand. There we go. And this loop goes over this hand. And now Turtle has a little shell. So Tabitha, you need to tell me what we're doing first. Are we doing the hat first or the bow? Which one do you want? Go ahead and tell me, and we'll start with that one. We're still going to do both, but at least I can get you to a place where you're playing with your turtle before I move on to the other. What do you want to do? Bow or hat? Unless you're doing your own thing. If you're doing your own thing, I'm just going to start making stuff, you know, because that's how I roll. But you got a shell. We've got a shell. We're doing the hat. Okay, I'm doing the hat with gray yarn because if I do it in black yarn, you're not going to be able to see squat. So let's get me some gray yarn. Now the hat, I don't have a pattern for because I made it up. But that's okay. It's super easy. It's super easy. So let's get some slack. We're going to do another magic ring. And we're going to do 6 stitches. So magic ring. If you guys have never done a magic ring, which Tabitha, I think you've done this before a few times. So I'll go for anyone else. No worries, Haley. I see your vote for a hat. Anyone else who might be learning a magic ring, hold the cut part of your yarn. Go over the back side and go back up. Try not to overlap like I did. Go back up like so. You're going to create that X. Reposition your fingers so that you're holding everything tight. It just helps. It's not like necessary. But you've got everything tight. Go under the first strand, over the second one, and pull that second one through. Twist and come back up. Now, this is where holding this can be very difficult and it can feel awkward. But in all honesty, this is nothing but a slip knot that you haven't pulled tight. So feel free to pull it tight enough where you can keep stitching in there, but you can easily hold it. Otherwise, you're going to lose your mind. Chain 1 so we can start stitching. That just gives you space. And now you're going to do 6 single crochets into that magic ring. And 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, pull that magic ring closed. This is the fun part. Boop. And if you aren't using plushy yarn, you're very thankful right now, because plushy yarn, if you guys don't know and you're a beginner, it can have, it can sometimes rip if you're not careful, so be careful. This next row, you're going to make sure you grab that first set of stitches, so right there, get your hook in there. It can always be kind of tight, so just kind of go slow and be careful with yourself. But now we're going to do an increase in every stitch, so you should end up with 12 stitches when it's said and done. So here's our first single crochet. I am still, even though it's small, going to use my stitch marker just to make life easy. And I'm going to be going right back into the same stitch. So 2 single crochets in each stitch around. An increase in each stitch around. It snapped on you? What do you mean? Oh, the yarn? No magic with plush. Yeah, you can do a magic ring with plush. It's just, oh, you have to, it's very dicey. It's very dicey. I'm trying to remember how I did the rest of this hat. I'm sure I remember. I think I figured it out. I'm looking at it. We did 1 circle, 2 rows, then we go down 1, 2, and then I go out. Okay. We did 1 stitch there. Alright, 2 increases all the way around. I'm on my last stitch. So we've got our top of the hat. You should have 12 stitches. Now this is where I'm going to switch, because I really want to create a hard edge going down. This means for the next row, I'm going to be working in the back loops only. So, and if you still have that little tail, go ahead and cut it. Let's make life easy. You don't need to keep weaving it in. So go ahead and get rid of it. So if you have never looked at the loops, there's always 2 loops to the top of every stitch. Some patterns call for a front loop only. Some patterns call for a back loop only for different times and different reasons. For this next row, we're going to be working in the back loops only. And you're going to do 1 single crochet in each stitch around. So place your stitch marker and continue with the back loops. Single, single, all the way around. And if you have to keep kind of flipping it the right way out, don't worry, you're not alone. I'm doing the same thing. Ooh, my yarn is squeaking. Sorry! I know some people hate that. Some people hate it, but it's gonna happen because it's budget yarn. Budget yarn tends to do that more. And you'll see it created a nice harsh, I say that sounds really backwards, but it creates like a line going around, and that's good. That'll create more definition as it starts going down. Alright, Tabitha, you there? Because we're gonna keep going. I don't want to lose you. Don't want to lose you. I'm just getting more yarn. Just getting more yarn. Drink your water, drink your water. All right, I know you've got to be getting close because you are not a slow stitcher. I'm seeing that. I'm seeing that. Wait, I'm waiting, Cookie Monster. I got you. You let me know what I'm waiting on. You let me know. And in the meantime, how did I make 1, 2, 3, double, 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 and 3? Okay. Done. We're waiting on Cookie Monster. I'm making sure that you're ready to go. I don't want to take off. We leave no stitcher behind. That is definitely what we don't want to do. So Cookie, let me know when you're ready. I can hear my son's, you probably can hear it too because this mic picks up everything. Okay, but my son's watching some Mandalorian or something in the background. Alright, now we're going back to both loops only. You're still going to do a single crochet around, but go back into both loops. Don't forget to mark your stitch marker. And just single crochet all the way around. Both loops. I said both loops only. Nobody actually says it that way, so just work with me. But both loops. Work all the way around. Single crochet. Right. And this one, this hat, I'm not going to lie, turned out a lot bigger than my last hat, and I don't know why. I'm assuming it's because it's just different yarn. But it's okay. It's okay. If that's a problem, you can always go back and do one row here and don't do the increases and just start going, skip the increases. That's how you can kind of adjust it if for some reason you're like, I want a smaller hat. Alright, last one. Are you guys ready for the last one? The way of the top hat. Yes, the way of the top hat. You're like, no, I'm not a slow stitcher. I know you aren't Tabitha. I figured. This is the way. This is the way. What did I miss? Why are you guys saying this is the way? I missed something. I missed something! It's cool. It's cool. But I'm waiting. Cookie Monster, Tabitha, we're going to do our last row. You let me know when you're ready. And I only did one row, right? Yep. Because now we're going to be going in to the front loops only for this last one. Alright, you're with me. Good. We're going to be doing increase, single, all the way around. Front loops only. So last time we grabbed that back loop. This time you're grabbing the front loop. So increase, 2 singles in the same stitch. Yes, my son's watching Mandalorian. Okay, yeah, this is the way. I haven't watched it. Don't judge me. I haven't watched it yet. I plan to watch it with him. I watched the original Star Wars, of course, when I was a kid, because you have to, but I haven't watched a lot of the newer ones, and I definitely didn't get into Mandalorian. Alright, so Tabitha, front loops only, increase, single, all the way around. Increase, single, increase, or 2 in 1, 2 singles. Goodness, I'm struggling. Okay, and then single. Increase. And single. Don't forget we're in that front loop only. FLO. Front loop only. And then you've got back loops only. The abbreviation is BLO. I realize it's not the best abbreviation in the world, but I didn't come up with the language. I just know it. This time we are in front loop only. FLO. If you ever see that in a pattern, that is what it means. You should end on a regular single crochet. And then, no different than how we finished the shell, you're going to take off the stitch marker, slip stitch into that last stitch by just going into those loops and yarn over and pull through all of them. And then fasten off. If you want, leave yourself a decent tail, because, actually, not if you want. Leave yourself a decent tail. You're going to be using this tail to sew on your hat. I'm not going to demonstrate sewing it on unless you guys absolutely need me to. First, I'm going to jump into the bow, but all you need is a yarn needle, and I did mine to the side, and then you'll just go underneath. I'm actually going to sew a bow and a top hat on this guy. Don't ask why, I'm just doing both, so I'll show you a little bit. It's a top hat! Not for Abraham Lincoln, Haley. No, that's not why we did it. We wanted him to be a fancy turtle. I don't know. It's what everyone voted for when we originally made this guy. So, you can laugh all you want at me, Haley. It was our Cromunity that came up with it all. So go ahead and keep laughing. Go ahead and keep laughing. Joke's on you, my friend. I'm kidding. I love you, Haley. It doesn't sound offensive at all, Haley. I never take anything you say that way. Trust me. I know you too well. But we will definitely sew this on in a second. I'm going to make a bow. So if you guys were waiting for the bow, your time has come. We're going to do the bow. Let me just get rid of this gray yarn. Move it out of the way. Now the bow, is anyone making the bow? Do I have to like slow down for anyone? Or am I just recording it? Anyone out there making a bow? The bow's going to be done with a magic circle. Haley, the way you did the hearts, the way you did the flowers and all of that, this is very similar technique. Okay. You're making your hat taller? Do it, Tabitha. Heck yeah. At least now you know how. You'll just add more of those single crochet rows with both loops, not the back loops. Yeah, my black hat was a little bit more narrow, so it probably should be a little bit taller, but definitely. Alright, for a bow, if you guys are making a bow, I'm going to make the tail just a little bit longer because I know I'm going to be sewing in with it because I'm going to be sewing through the hat, I think. We're going to see. I have it in my head how we're doing it, and I don't really know. Yeah, Haley. Alright, so again, magic circle. Once you have this, you can also make it smaller. You're just pulling it through, under, over, pull through. Now, chain 3, 1, 2, 3. How many double crochets did I do? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 double crochets. Double crochet is yarn over, insert your hook, pull up 1, pull up 2, and then 2. And I want you to do that 3 more times. Hey Becky, how are you? There's our second double, our third double, and our fourth. And now you're chaining 3 again, 2 and 3. And we've got one side of the bow. You're going to slip stitch, so you're just pulling through the ring as well as that stitch. This will all come together once we tighten the ring, but you've got, obviously, you can see one half of the bow. Now we're going to do the other half. So chain 3 again, 1, 2, and 3. 4 double crochets. So yarn over, pull up 1, pull up 2, pull up 2. Do that again. 1, 2, 2. That's our second one. That's easy? Good! I'm glad you think it's easy. It should be easy. That means you're getting the idea of how all of these kind of come together. And chain 3. And slip stitch. Now, for me, I'm going to cut this. Before I pull everything tight, this is how I like to bring it. I like to pull both of these through together. And then all the way through. Now we got to pull all this tight. So pull that one tight, and I'm pulling them individually. So I'm starting with one until it doesn't give anymore. I'm doing the next one, which is clearly the magic ring one, and you're pulling it tight. But I'm pushing with these fingers. I'm pushing that way, and I'm pulling this down that way. So pull it tight, and you've got yourself your bow. Then the rest is just sewing it together. Like I said, I'm going to be sewing the hat and the bow together, I think. I had an idea. We're going to see if it works. Oh, it kind of works. It's a little off. We're going to do it anyway, because YOLO. I'm just going to do, I'll probably do both these threads. We'll see how this works. This is totally an invention, and I didn't do this side of it, so if you guys are just doing one or the other, you're probably going to go a lot smoother than me, but because I already made this and I had this idea and I wanted to use both of them, it's going to get done a little differently. I'm going to go down the middle just so I have a starting point that's hidden. And then we're going to be sewing through the hat. I might actually just attach it to the hat real quick. This is where we're kind of like winging it. This is where we call it going rogue. We're kind of winging it at this point. We've sewn it to the hat. Now, I probably should just go through the hat and sew it to his head. That's what I originally was going to do. There we go. And we're going to make it a little lopsided. So I want to see kind of where the stitch is landing, and I'm just going to find some points and sew it like so. I try to go under. I don't want to sew it to the side of the hat because you're going to pull it down. So I'm trying to aim for these loops on the inside when I sew it to the turtle's head. Let me see where I'm at here. Hopefully you guys can see that fairly well. And I'm going into the head at the same time. I know these things look like we're doing a lot of really scary things to them when we're sewing them together. Don't worry, I'm not hurting the turtle's feelings. He'll be okay. They'll be okay. And then once you get it secure, you can fasten it off. And you've got yourself your turtle. How's everyone's looking? Cookie Monster, how'd you do? Same with you. Tabitha, how'd you do? I'll have to catch the replay. No worries. I know you've got a busy schedule. Busy schedule with everything. If you really want, you could technically stuff the hat. I did not. I didn't feel the need to. I feel like it kind of holds its shape without needing it. And I could have also intentionally sewn it shut with the gray yarn just to avoid some of those stitches from popping through, but I was already connected, so just all things that you guys can be doing differently. And then I'm going to go ahead and tie a knot in just a second here. Let me make sure it's not going anywhere. And to tie a knot, first off, don't do what I did and lose your strands. Da, 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 da. Come on. Come on. Alright. Best way to tie a knot is to go in one strand, pull your yarn almost all the way through, but not yet all the way, because you want to go not all the way. Come on. And you're going to go back through the loop. And make sure it's pulled tight so it hides. And I totally dropped the yarn again, but we're going to cheat. Uh-oh, that did not go tight. Okay, we're going to totally fix that later. But if you're like me and you're like, I'm not going to connect it to the yarn one more time because I'm going to lose my mind, grab a small crochet hook, and you can always cheat by going close to the yarn, and then you can fish it through. So just grab it by the hook and start pulling it through. If you lose it, you just go back up and keep pulling more yarn until you fish it all. Because now what's going to happen is that yarn's just going to be additional stuffing in the head, which is what keeps it from coming out. Once you get almost all of it in there, you can also use the back of your hook and just keep stuffing it. You need to stuff it. And there you have it, guys. There you have it. Now what I'm going to do, because I clearly did not pull that tight enough, is I'm going to reinforce it with this, and that will also naturally get this thread out of our way. So we're going to go right back into this, grab a couple threads. And what's good is if you guys are doing this with me, you're seeing the ugly side of amigurumi. Sewing it is the hardest part. There's a reason why no-sew patterns exist. This is not one of them. But no-sew patterns are popular for this reason right here. People hate sewing these items together, and a lot of times the instructions are not always clear on how to do it, so you usually are just kind of doing a trial and error type thing. If you guys have ever done amigurumi and you know what I'm talking about, feel free to throw a comment in the chat. Like, the reality is there's just a lot of kind of winging it when it comes to the sewing side of it. but if you work slow, be patient. Use things like stuffy sticks. When I told you guys about Karen, TSH Designs, she has the Ami sticks or the stuffy sticks, however you want to call them. A lot of people will use these sticks, and it's a great tool. I didn't need it for this one because it was a small. When you're holding bigger things like legs and arms, you put these sticks in and it will hold the item. I'm not shoving it through all the way right now, but it'll hold the item in place and then you can sew around it. Great tool for you to use. So definitely if you guys want to try those, because they make it easy, because then I could literally just sew while it's being pinned. So it's really good. Stuff that hand? No, we stuffed the head. Yes, we did stuff the head. We stuffed the head ages ago. I stuffed it too much. That's why I can't get the Emmy stick through it. And you guys are all set. We're going to finish this hat. Now, next week, guys, first off, if you guys don't follow me on TikTok, you're missing out on some more live. I will tell you, behind the scenes, like YouTube is where I do most of my long format teaching. Simply because of the fact that everything's available for replay for people like Cookie Monster who have a life and they have to go do stuff, but they want to still finish their project. You guys can save this link. It'll always be available for replay. But all of my other live stuff, all the fun and just, you know, kind of chit-chatting and crocheting and stitching behind the scenes, that is on TikTok. So if you guys are on TikTok, definitely head over, follow me there. It's at Jenetics Creations, same name, all of the same stuff. A lot of times we're scheduling the projects of the week. We're working on different tips and tricks, and we're just stitching and chatting and getting to know each other. So if that sounds like something you guys want in on, definitely head over there. I will be there after this class. I'm going to take a quick break, and then I will be over on that end of things. And then over here is where you guys always have my long format teaching. And if you guys have any requests, again, get in the cord. I know it's another platform, and I know a lot of people are like, another platform. But we nerd out with so much yarn things there that you will definitely never struggle to be inspired in crochet or in many other things, because we definitely have a serial crafters channel as well, where everyone does all of their other crafts and shows them all off. But get in all the things, because our Crow-munity has kind of become a pretty dope one, if I do say so myself. So now, I'm glad I combined it. It looks a little funny, but it's cool. It's cool. We've got all the things. All the things. So next week, we will likely be doing our sheep. This is our project of this week, but if you guys did not do it with us or you missed out on it, I will be doing the full tutorial of it. This is also using another free pattern that is on Ribbler, so if you haven't checked out Ribbler, it is like the Pinterest, but it's like the Pinterest. It's like Pinterest, but only crochet. And with a lot of the AI that's going around and the fake stuff, it's kind of nice. It's kind of a breath of fresh air. So definitely get in on that. This will likely be our project for next week. And I know we've got some other items planned. We've got a koala planned. We've got some 4th of July things that we're talking about. We've got some sub-only events coming up. If you guys are subscribers on TikTok, I will have to figure out YouTube and see if there's a way I can open it up to you all on this platform. If you guys are predominantly YouTubers, I want to make sure you guys have access to it as well. But message me on the cord, message me on Discord if you guys want in on that. And the link is pinned in the chat. Aside from that, we got through all of our accessories. I think we covered everything. So I will see you guys next week. Same time, same place. Our class is always Thursday, 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, because I am in California. All of the classes are available for replay 24/7, so definitely subscribe, follow the channel, and all of that. And if you guys give me about a half hour or so, we're going to jump over onto TikTok and do some more stitching, because, you know, I think I got a problem and I don't stop stitching, because we believe you should always keep stitching. But otherwise, guys, yay! Congrats to you, Tabitha, Cookie Monster. I hope you guys love it. You guys tag me in it. Make sure you guys post your finished turtle and all that stuff, and tag at Jenetics Creations, because I would love to see it. I'd love to see it. But otherwise, I will see you guys next week. Take care. Again, you guys already know what we're likely going to be doing and all the fun stuff. So I'll see you guys later. Take care. Bye, guys. Mwah, 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 mwah. Take it easy. See you on the flip side.